Today's concept is Croning-Penny model. According to Bloch, the potential energy of the electron varies periodically with periodicity of ion core. Here ion core is nothing but the nucleus. Nucleus is positively charged. Okay. So the electron moving in between this lattice has a varying potential which varies with the periodicity of the lattice. It is assumed that the potential energy at the lattice point sites or at the ion core near the core is 0, and when the electron moves in between the lattice points between the two adjacent ions, the potential is maximum. So the potential energy of the electron near the ion core is 0, and in between the adjacent ions it is maximum. So Croning and Penny proposed a simple method to explain the behavior of an electron in a one-dimensional periodic potential. Croning and Penny proposed a simple model to explain the behavior of an electron in a one-dimension periodic potential, and the possible states that the electron can occupy are determined by Schrödinger equation. Here Croning and Penny assumed the potential V of x is in the form of an array of rectangular square wells and barriers with periodicity A plus B. Okay, Croning and Penny assumed that the potential V of x is in the form of array of rectangular square wells and barriers with periodicity A plus B. If you observe, all these are lattice points, and in between these lattice points the electrons will be moving. Here, if the electron is nearer to the positive ion, it experiences no force. Electron is free to move. So the potential energy is taken as 0. But if the electron is between these two positive ion sites, it experiences a force. So the motion of the electron is constrained by these two positive ions. Gradually the potential increases. So the variation of the potential here is like this. If we extend, you can observe that the potential at the lattice points is 0, and in between the lattice points is maximum. As a whole, the potential is taken as constant V0. Okay. So now we are going to consider that the variation of the potential is in the form of rectangular square wells and barriers which have a periodicity of A plus B. So this is the direction of propagation of the electron and the variation of the potential of the electron which is moving in x direction. So if we extend this thing, here the potential of the electron which is moving in one dimensional is given as, this is considered to have rectangular square wells and barriers. If you observe 0, if you consider this as a lattice point, and this becomes your next lattice point, and in between the next lattice point and this lattice point you have a region where the potential is maximum. So you have two regions, one region where the potential is 0, which starts from 0 and A. So 0 less than x less than A is considered as a region 1 where the potential is 0. And in the second region, the potential is maximum. Okay. So if you observe, if this is the next lattice point, to my left of the x direction, this becomes A minus B. Okay. So this is 0. In between the lattice points, the potential is maximum, means at minus B, the potential is maximum V0. So I say this as region 2. So I have alternately the regions, rectangular square wells and barriers. Okay. So this is region 1 and this is region 2. So region 1 is 0 less than x less than A where the potential is 0, and region 2 minus B less than x less than 0 where the potential is maximum. That maximum is taken as V0. So now we can apply to study the behavior of the electron in these two regions. We apply Schrödinger wave equation. The general Schrödinger wave equation, time independent wave equation, is dou square psi by dou x square plus 2m by h bar square into E minus V of psi is equal to 0. Here, if h cut, we know that h cut is equal to h by 2 pi. So replace this h cut with h by 2 pi. You will get dou square psi by dou x square plus 8 pi square m by h square into E minus V of psi is equal to 0. Now we apply the Schrödinger wave equation for region 1 and region 2. So for region 1, this equation gets modified as dou square psi by dou x square plus 8 pi square m by h square into E psi is equal to 0, because for region 1, 0 less than x less than A, the potential V is considered as 0. And for region 2, dou square psi by dou x square plus 8 pi square m by h square into E minus V0 of psi is equal to 0. Here, for region 2, minus B less than x less than 0, V becomes V0. In between this region, the potential is maximum. Between this region, the potential is 0. So these are the two Schrödinger wave equations, Schrödinger time independent equations for the two regions. To solve this differential equation, we modify the equations. In the equation 1, you consider 8 pi square m by h square into E as alpha square and 8 pi square m by h square into E minus V0 in the second equation as beta square. Here we are considering that V0 is much greater than E. So this equation beta square is taken as 8 pi square m by h square V0 minus E. Here alpha and beta are the real numbers. So the modified 1 and 2 equations by placing alpha square and beta square are dou square psi by dou x square plus alpha square of psi is equal to 0 and dou square psi by dou x square minus beta square of psi is equal to 0. Let these equations be 3 and 4. So if we observe, those two equations are second order differential equations of a periodically varying potential. So first such an equation, Bloch has given a solution of the form psi is equal to uk of x e power plus or minus ikx. So psi is equal to uk of x e power plus or minus ikx. Here uk of x is nothing but a Bloch function which is periodic with periodicity of the lattice a plus b. So to get the values of the allowed energies, you take this equation A, differentiate this equation with respect to x twice and substitute the values of dou square psi by dou x square, the differentiated equation in these equations 3 and 4. In 3 and 4, solving the differential equation, applying the boundary conditions, you are going to get p sin alpha a by alpha a plus cos alpha a is equal to cos ka. So this is a Kronig-Penney model equation. P sin alpha a by alpha a plus cos alpha a is equal to cos Ka. If we observe, the left hand side of the equation is limited by the right hand side of the equation. Whatever the values that you are going to get on the left hand side of the equation should be bounded within the values of RHS. Here P is nothing but called as scattering power of the barrier and the value is mV0 AB by H bar square, and V0 into B is called as strength of the barrier. By solving the above equation, one can calculate the allowed energies of the electron in the periodic potential. So for calculating, you are going to consider two cases. Considering the scattering power of the barrier as infinity and scattering power of the barrier tends to 0. So the first one is when P tends to infinity. When P tends to infinity, you have the Kronig-Penney equation as P sin alpha a by alpha a plus cos alpha a is equal to cos Ka. So divide this equation by P. So on dividing this equation by P, you are going to get sin alpha a by alpha a plus cos alpha a by P is equal to cos Ka by P. The case that we have considered is when P tends to infinity. If I substitute infinity in the place of P, something by infinity is 0. Here something by infinity becomes 0. So you are going to have sin alpha a is equal to 0. What values of alpha a makes sin value 0 is nothing but values taking pi, 2 pi, 3 pi and so on n pi. So sin n pi makes the value 0. So alpha a is equal to n pi. Alpha is equal to n pi by a. But you have alpha square. Earlier we have derived alpha square as alpha square is equal to 8 pi square m by h square into e. So squaring on both sides, you are going to get alpha square is equal to n square pi square by a square. Substitute the value of alpha square in this equation. You are going to get 8 pi square m by h square into e is equal to n square pi square by a square. So we need to get the energies that are allowed for an electron which is moving in a periodically varying potential. So E is equal to, take all these values to this hand side. You are going to get n square. Both side pi square and pi square gets cancelled. So n square h square by 8m a square. So we have got some energy E is equal to n square h square by 8m a square. So this is just similar to the values that you have derived earlier. Okay. So when P tends to infinity, the electron is restricted to move in its own orbital in its atom. So nothing but the energy of the electron is discrete, satisfying the quantum free electron theory. So if E is equal to n square h square by 8m a square, the electron moves in its own orbit. In such a case, these particular electrons are restricted to move in its own orbitals. So such cases, the metals acts as insulators. The second one, when P is equal to 0. Here P sin alpha A by alpha A plus cos alpha A is equal to cos Ka. If cos alpha A is equal to, here P tends to 0. So totally this term becomes 0. So the leftover term is cos alpha A is equal to cos Ka. Alpha is equal to K. Alpha square is equal to K square. We know the value of alpha and K. So substitute the values of alpha and K. Alpha is 8 pi square m by h square into E and K is 2 pi by lambda. On substituting, you are going to get 4 pi square by lambda square. The modified energy is E is equal to 4 pi square h square by 8 pi square m lambda square. Pi square and pi square gets cancelled. 4 2 times. So E is equal to h square 2m into lambda square. But moving electron behaves as a de Broglie wave is the concept. So lambda is equal to h by p. I can replace this lambda with h by p. You are going to get, in the place of lambda I am going to write h by p. So h square by p square. H square get cancelled. So you are going to, the term after this is h square by 2m into h square by p square. P square term turns to the top. So you are going to get h square get cancelled. E is equal to p square by 2m. So energy E is equal to, you know that P is equal to mv. So on substituting, you are going to get m square v square. Both m's get cancelled. You are going to get E is equal to half m v square. Thus, when P tends to 0, electron is a free electron and moves through out the lattice. So completely it moves in the lattice. So the conclusion is, when P tends to infinity, the energy is discrete, and when P tends to 0, the energy is continuous. Energy is discrete. Nothing but shows that the electron is bounded to its own core nucleus. So the material acts as insulators. When P tends to 0, the energy is E is equal to half m v square. Nothing but continuous energy. Until the electron is not bounded, it is very free. It acts as a free electron and it moves throughout the crystal. So such case, the metal acts as a conductor. So this is what the conclusions given by Croning and Penny. In the next class, we discuss about the continuation of Croning and Penny model.